Alright, so my kit arrived today, this one. There's the other two that I built. That's the one I put the clear window. There's a awesome looking circuit. I was thinking it'd be cool to put the LED inside. You know, this is prototypical. This would not be the materials it would be made out of. When I can afford to, I want to get the sheet of I called it bicarbonate. That's what you take when your stomach's sick, but the sheet of polycarbonate. And, you know, there's a sliding battery door. This would all be made out of metal, obviously. Cast alloy. What is that, aluminum, magnesium, or whatever? This one I did use the box for, but the battery's a tight cram. I showed that in the other video. I don't like how tight the battery crams. And that's cut out for my trim pot. It's too bad I can't make a little thing that'll fit right on there. Maybe I can put some legs on it and, you know, epoxy the trim pot so it's right up here, right up against it. That might be a cool idea. Anyway, here's the other kit. This is my next. This is coming off, first of all. Nico's like, you should like put him on a skateboard or something. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't like demons. I don't like weapons of death or demons, right? But it is, you know, if you're into demons, which I don't recommend, but the graphics are very good quality. The paint job is very good quality. So the box is very thin walled, as light as it possibly could be. I don't know about how, there it is, Lantone, it says on this one also, which is the same as T-tone, I guess. This one said upgraded kit, so I don't know what's in it. I have yet to do the inventory. So far, I'm very happy with both of these Lantone circuits, but I'm not happy with either of these boxes. They are just too small. Way, way too small. But, you know, I mean, if the battery didn't fit like that in there, you know, diagonally and barely, and, you know, that would be a different story. I'd be like, these are a little too close together. You should not, you know, be able to move one knob by turning the other knob, you know, but that's not that big a deal, I guess. But these boxes are just too small. They're just too small. This one is probably too big. Nico said, no, I like that one. I like it. I'm like, no, it's way too big. It's not. It's actually not. It looks cool. But so I want to do that with this one. I'm scared to do it. I could go outside and do it. I have an outlet outside of my pavilion. I'll draw it on there nice and neat, but this should cut easily, actually. It's very thin. The Dremel tool, I don't know if I have any left. Those cutting wheels, Dremel tool cutting wheels are very scary. I mean, they shatter. That's it. The pieces go flying. You got to make sure when you're cutting with a Dremel tool that like your face is like not anywhere in line with where the pieces could fly, because those cutting wheels always shatter. They always explode. Yeah, those Dremel tool cutting wheels always explode. So I think I'll take it outside, you know, draw it out nice and neat. A nice rim like this all the way around. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll drill holes, doop, 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 to get, you know, like a radius, a nice radius around the corners. And then that'll be where the screws go, and I'll epoxy a nut on the underside of each one. And then I'll get that sheet of, I keep wanting to call it bicarbonate. That's what you take when your stomach is sick. I want to get that sheet of polycarbonate, which is scratch resistant, shock resistant, non-cracking, UV resistant. It's like what they make eyeglasses out of. And it's an 1/8 inch thick, which, you know, that's double the thickness of this, and should be plenty strong enough to put the stomp switch on. That way this whole circuit will be illuminated. But what I'm wondering is which side of this circuit, I guess I'll pull it out now. Hold on. Now I'm holding this between my knees. I don't know, you know, it's all hearsay, right? Until you know that it's true. The woman who got the $3.9 million or 3 point something million from McDonald's. She was holding the cup of coffee between her knees, wearing sweatpants, and holding the cup of coffee between her knees like that. That's how the story is anyway. All right, so which one's the top of this card? Hold on a minute. That's the side with the circuit. And trying to see which way what goes on here. Yeah, because the pots get soldered to the top. Are those the pots though? I don't think they are. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, so the pots could be soldered on either side. So this card's going to go up like this. These will be the pots right here. So technically, I can leave this switch not cut out and just do like a little angle around it maybe. But that's a lot of cutting. I think I would like to do the clear top. And I think I'll do the, I'll drill the holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that there's a nice radius, in my corners like that. Instead of a sharp edge. Then I only got to cut to my radius. And I'll try to file it all neat and make it nice and clean looking. Too bad I don't have a laser cutter or something. That would be cool. And then this one will the plate will screw onto the top. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. And, a small nut epoxied on the underside to receive the screw. And it'll look neat, And then I'll sand and round the corners of the polycarbonate sheet, But that's what I'm wondering here, because this is where the pots go, and those are the centers of the pots, so it'll be technically like that. And then the battery goes here, switch goes here. So really, you only need to see, genuinely, I'm trying not to say really, you only need to see this part here, like that, see. But it would be nice to see the switch and its wiring also, I reckon. He said put him on a skateboard. I was like, oh, that could be cool if it was just a horse, If it was just a horse, I have no issue with it, but it's a demon. I don't worship demons. I don't even go to lunch with them. I will eat their food, but I do not go to lunch with demons. But I will eat their food. All right, so that's it. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I haven't done the inventory on this kit yet. So far, like I said, both of these kits, this is the land tone delay, highly recommended. If you like analog delay, this one is a particularly bright circuit that does not tick. It doesn't have a gross ticking sound to it. It's all very warm. Of course, my heavy-handed hitting is a little bit of a problem, because I get boom, 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 boom. But this delay sounds very, very good. This circuit is very good sounding. This one, I haven't been able to dig in, so I can't tell you about the dynamics of it. But I can tell you with that pot, it's very dialable. This one is called the OD1. And yes, it does sound like a Boss OD1. But with this pot, I can get more to that clear, uncolored, whilst it's still colored and still, with the volume down. As you bring the gain up, you have to bring the volume down because this gets way hotter. The noise floor, as it's called, increases, but the treble also increases and it gets clearer and less colored whilst it gains more compression for the need to turn down the volume to equalize between the on-off positions. So yeah, this is the OD1. Also, so far what I can tell of it, a good circuit. It was enjoyable to build. I can't try overdrives in here. I get arrested, like literally physically beaten and arrested for playing guitars. I know I shouldn't laugh. I should not laugh, but I guess it's better than saying what I want to say about it. But so anyway, there's the land tone delay. Very nice sounding circuit. Box is way too small. Battery doesn't fit good in either box. This is my box I made for this one. recommend a different box. Both circuits are very nice. Very nice sounding. $27. Each one of them was $27. This one's way harder. You're better off starting with this one if you're nervous. But like me, I wanted the delay, so that's what I got. And this one's way harder to do. Honestly, the circuits are not as hard, and the circuit cards are very good circuit cards. They're very good. They don't wick or trace across easily. This one has a lot of close components. That's not bad though. I'm getting good at it. Getting better. I didn't blunder this one at all. The hard part is the wiring. And this box, it's like, not only is it a challenge, but, you know, then to have to put the battery in diagonally and not be able to upgrade the battery snap. And just, you know, I had to grind the bottom of the box to fit it. It's exhausting that the battery wouldn't fit in there, that the jacks are so close together. The box is too small. And yes, although I couldn't get it to do it, you know, like make a liar out of me kind of thing. It was doing it before. You know, you turn one knob and the other knob was turning, but it's not doing it now. But, I mean, they're just too close. You know, that's too close. Well, that's my opinion, right? You're entitled to try it yourself. But I will say, Lantone, T-Tone, and Pro, whatever the name is, I still don't remember. These two circuits are good. This one I cannot demo it to the point of digging in and finding out the finer dynamics of, you know, pushing it and hitting it and interacting with it because I can't play that volume in here. All right, so this is this one. And yes, both of these sound great in an effects loop. They sound good in an effects loop and do not destroy the clean Stratocaster tone. They sound good in an effects loop. So this one, yeah, the demon's going. Goodbye. Very, if you don't mind it, the paint job is excellent. The paint job is excellent. And it's a very thin-walled and lightweight enclosure. The box closes very well on it. As you can see, it's a good fit. And is it deeper than this one? Oh yeah. It's much deeper than that one, which means the battery is easily going to fit on it. These rubber feet are so good. Even the black ones or the brown ones, but that rubber, these are very good rubber feet. Right? Well, I'm totally trashing the size of this box. The size of this box is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's a shame. You know, the battery is literally in there diagonally. And that's no fault of mine. This one, forget about it. There was just too much going on there. That's why there's lay down components on this circuit for the jacks, you know. But in both cases, the circuits are very nice. You know, very enjoyable to build. A little bit of a challenge on the wiring. That's the hard part. The circuit is easy. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's not easy. But compared to the wiring is the hard part. You know, you got to warm up, get to know what you're doing. I like the idea of the... I forget the guy's name, Fairy something, put the shrink wrap on all the pot legs, you know, so they can't possibly connect out and short. But I did small shrink wrap and then a larger piece of shrink wrap on these ones, which is a shame. I show it in the other video, but it's a shame it's covered up. You can't see it or enjoy, you know, the beautiful soldering work there, but that's all right. There wasn't much to the circuit, but it is interesting. I would like to display this one. Yeah, maybe I will get that. Cut, you know, drill this and cut this out also and do this one as well and show it off, but I'm disappointed at the way the battery fits in there. If I do anything, I'm going to change this box out. All right, so this is this project. I have to do the inventory. As you can see, this one's packed neatly also. I don't think I want to do the inventory on film on this one. I'm going to skip it. So yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Can the pots be... No, they cannot be mounted on either side because it's going to be numbered what leg goes where in the circuit. Hold on a second. I got to look with my eyes here. Wait a minute. Let's bring it over to the microscope. Turn the light. Yeah, see the pot is labeled on that side, but it does, you can see the traces going into the leg holes there, so it does matter which direction it goes in. I'm wondering, does it get mounted to that side like that? I think it does. Yeah, I can't wire that in reverse. Can I? The pots will work in reverse, right? They will work in reverse. So going down will be going up. Don't want to do that. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Would be nice to see this stuff. Maybe I'll have to make the bottom plate out of bicarbonate so you can flip it over and see the circuit. Then the other thing I was thinking was I wanted to, yeah, see, there's the other name right there. Protaltone at gmail.com. Protaltone. Lantone and T-Tone, that's the same companies, the same circuits, identical. I don't know if T-Tone is their company anymore because it's not written on there, but the T-Tone delay is the exact same circuit as the one I got, identical. With the same circuit was even substituted in the same spot. So, what I wanted to know about this one is which part is the buffer, because I do want to wire this for true bypass if I can successfully and cleanly do that, which, it's not a matter of whether I can, it's a matter of whether I have the patience to find somebody to help me know the truthful way to do it, which I think I can. I'll ask Colby if he'll help me. He'll probably tell me. He seems to enjoy sharing information. He's very helpful. He's very clever. He knows a lot about electronics, a lot about mechanics and electronics, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm just looking at this stuff here. Yeah, that will be diodes right there. Diode clipping. Seems grainier and maybe a little cleaner depending on the diodes. I know the one box I had that was by Bin Wang, which, by the way, watch his videos. What's it called? Bin Wang, that's his name, B-I-N, Wang, W-A-N-G. 69 pedals. He has a version with switchable diodes in it, and I had that box that went on a pedal board that I traded. Sounded very good. I never switched to the other one because the one I had it on was the creamy setting and the other one was more grainy, but he shows both of them in his video, and he's a very skilled player. So anyhow, yeah, I'm just wondering about those pots, if I can put those pots on top. That would be worth it. There won't be any sleeves or legs on these ones. It'll just be mounted to the card, but I can't put it on top because that will reverse the legs of the pots. Will that matter? I mean, they'll work in reverse, right? Which will not be a good thing. That won't be a good thing. Clockwise is the way they should work. Can't cut the card. I could always just rewire it somehow, and then just paste them to the card. Wire it and paste them to the card. I could do that just to keep this circuit on top. But I don't think so because it's not meant to be mounted that way. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. If that's the case, then I'll just put a clear plate on the bottom. I don't know. I'd like to be able to see the circuit. Oh yeah, what I was saying. I'd like to know what part is the buffer and eliminate it, but as Nico agreed, he knows more about electronics than I do. I said, I don't know, Nico, I'm just using my common sense, and I'm thinking it's possible, electric balance-wise, that taking out the buffer circuit could change the electric balance of the whole circuit, because it's a soak, and all the components are based on what's here. Not just random, but they're calculated based on, the overall draw and the balance of the entire circuit and the card and everything, all of its capacitance. And if I eliminate the buffer circuit, is that going to change the sound? I'm not worried about a pop, like pop, pop. When I switch it, I want that bypass, I don't want a buffered output. I don't like that. I like when I turn the thing off, I want it as close as it can be to off, And I do understand, the wiring that's in here is not the same as what's in my favorite cable. So it's not going to be true bypass. It's going to be whatever coloring, capacitance, or allowances are in these jacks and in that wiring. And I know that, but, it'll still be as true bypass as it possibly can be. So that's how I want to wire this one. But yeah, I didn't know what part was the buffer, but he also agreed, I could be right about that. Eliminating the buffer circuit could change the balance of the circuit. So maybe just go ahead and install it, wire it for true bypass. But it'd be nice if someone could guide me in that. But it is what it is. This card is very good. Yeah, I want to. I'm just rolling it around now. I'm realizing maybe this goes this way, and the pots go that way. But I'd like to turn it this way and do my clear top idea, which means this roll will have to be reversed, which means that the legs will have to be soldered with tiny wires, and then these will have to be epoxied to the top of the card, which is not a big deal because then the pots get screwed in and, the card just hangs on the pots. It's not like anybody's leaning on the card and the switch is not attached to the card. So that can be done. And then you or I or whoever looks at it would just see, 3 little neat wires coming over to the legs. And that's that. I could always mount the pot upside down on there. It wouldn't make one bit of difference because the pot is still a pot, Wherever I put my knob on the outside, that's where the knob goes. And so, yeah, I could technically mount all the pots upside down on there and then just have the little wires doop, doop, go around. Depends on how it fits in there. I'll have to see, Maybe that'll be the first thing I do. I'll put the pots, I'll mock them in place. I'll put them on there and see how it looks. And maybe I can do that. Just drop the wires around and epoxy them to the card. That is, if that's the way it even goes. I'll have to look at somebody's video and see. Thank God for people who share things. Thank God, because this is all healthy habits. This is all good things. I miss my children so much. I'm just playing it one day at a time, like a guy who has, a handful of nothing. Or do I? A handful of nothing in a card game, so... I know I say it funny, but it's not. So yeah, these are healthy habits. Thank God for people that post things and healthy habits. Like Nico said, you spend $45 here, $27 there, and you learn something and you make something and you learn about mechanics and you learn about electronics and you start to learn what the different components do and which ones create the sounds you like more so than the others, and then you start to take a deeper interest and you actually learn something. Or you can buy a scooter and a backpack and go to college, which is way more expensive. Scooters they're not cheap. So all right, so I hope these videos help someone else. I don't want to do the inventory right now. Maybe I'll make a video later of the inventory, but you see my other video how I do the inventory. I'm going to do this one the exact same way. I'm probably going to take the route that I keep wanting to say Sean. I think they're brothers. Well, I seem to remember him telling me once his name was Sean Kobe, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm going to take the route that Kobe says, and, I'm going to turn the camera off for this one because I want quiet and I want to concentrate. And, this is a lot of pieces, so I'm definitely going to do this inventory quietly. But there you go. So those are my ideas. Very good paint job. Very demonic logo. And, even if they had put him on a skateboard, like it should just be a horse, or a man with no sword, Now, if he was on rollerblades, that would be funny. All right, that's that. Have a nice, whatever time it is. I'm not sure. The light bulbs are on. Nico said, "Oh, look, it's morning." I said, "Well, then if this is morning, last time wasn't." And last time was way brighter. So, just turn on my refrigerator. I don't know how, but they found me, Marty. They wanted me to build them a pinball machine, and I built them a clone instead. Did they like it, Doc? No. What does it look like? All right, that's that. Enough of the nonsense. Nico says to me sometimes. He says, "Machayo, stop the nonsense." And I'll say, "Nico, I didn't start the nonsense." And he'll say, "I didn't say you did." I said, "Stop the nonsense." I said, "They don't know how." All right, so there you go. Excellent sounding delay. I play very heavy-handed, so I got to work it out. I don't use a pick. This delay sounds good, and the circuit is bright. The circuit is not dark. It's not overly bright, but it's definitely not dark at all. Nice circuit. This circuit sounds good. It's very changeable. The sound is very changeable. Not only does it change the gain, it has 3 extra diodes. Of course, your light emitting diode, your main circuit diode, whatever that does, I guess that's like your gain booster. But then 3 tiny diodes, which I think are what your clipping is in this, other than the transistors. So a transistor or transistors in this, I cannot remember. But there's 3 small diodes. I think they're clipping diodes, and maybe that's what that pot does. But as it gets brighter, it gets grainier and grainier. The noise floor increases. And then this needs to come down, which does add compression, but it sounds less colored, but is maybe a little more compressed. So then I got it turned, as you can see, at about that angle. Whereas, that would be center, and then it's more like that is how I got it turned, where I drew that line there. All right. Yes, and I did my beautiful thing there again. VTD, volume, tone, drive, and trim. Keep it simple. It's mechanical. No graphics, no stickers. No logos. There was a song when I was young. I used to like the lyric to it. I didn't know anything about the song, but there it is, the baby in the bathwater thing again. I just take what I like and forget the rest, but it was no labels, no lies, no fronts to hide behind, no labels, no lies. I was like, yep, that's how I like my bicycle, That's how I like everything, no labels. See, I took all the graphics off of it. But at the same time, it's like what Indian Larry said about motorcycles one time. No, I'm not a motorcycle guy, but what he said was like so appealing to me. He said, why would you hide the gas lines and the springs and the bolts? Like that's the whole joy of looking at a motorcycle, is like, wow, that's how it works. All those springs and those, perfectly figured out gas lines, which are not perfect, and a big scary looking spring that you can catch your pants in. And that's the fun of a motorcycle, is looking at all the mechanisms and knowing that you put it together. So these kits are good. These kits are very healthy. Honestly, I can't say about this one. I haven't done the inventory yet, but I'm confident if there's an issue that they'll fix it, whoever they are on the other end. But yeah, other than these boxes, I think most people will be disappointed with the size of the box. The battery is like this in there, across the screw hole here. And it's like that at an angle. I had to file this one to get it to fit. It's not good if you're going to use a battery. And this circuit was very difficult to fit into this box to start with. This was the box from this circuit. It wasn't hard to fit this one. Well, it was hard to fit it in there, but not as hard. But you won't be disappointed with these circuits. $27, $27. Very great sounding circuit. This one is a lot more expensive. There's a lot more components, but these cards are very good. So that's the pros and cons and my opinions. I'll let you know how this one turns out as far as inventory and ease of assembly, and potentially mounting the pots to the wrong side and routing some wires over. Maybe I'll do it that way just so I can see the circuit, because that's how I am. That's the way I like things. Like this. That's why I want to see what's inside. I could have mounted the switch down further and disconnected it from the card and moved the whole card up. That would have been interesting, but this was my first build, the first pedal I ever made. So, and then I told Nico, I was like, oh, I'm so sad. It's like, I cut it all by hand. Look, I messed, even after sanding, like there's a couple messed up spots and it's not perfectly square. And he's like, it's excellent. Don't touch it. Like it's good. That's awesome. He said, I like this better than, just because, I built it. Which, that's cool. This is cardboard. Well, anyhow, there it is. Very great paint job, just so you can see. I'll show you again. Very excellent, excellent paint job. Very thin-walled, light enclosure. Fits very well with the bottom. I will say this, both kits I got, both kits had a blundered screw. Each one had a bad screw. So, yeah, the box is my only gripe. I even like the rubber feet. Yeah, this is a spring-loaded table. So the whole thing lifts up. But, yeah, these rubber feet are very good. I put Velcro under there so that when I want to push it down, the table just stays down flat. But usually it sticks up a little. But anyway, yeah, the rubber's very good. The box is my disappointment with these kits. That's my disappointment, is the box. Way too small. And 2 blundered screws. 1 blundered screw in each kit so far. So we'll see how this one goes. This box is very nice. And it's definitely deeper, and it seems like it has way more room. A lot less wiring, because your pots, well, for me it won't be if I'm going to flip it over. Your pots get mounted to the... I'll have to see if I can even do that. I don't know if I can even do that. It might not be the right amount of room. Or I can make it work. I'll have to see, Because it'd be cool to see all these components, And there it is again, Texas Instruments, 1972. Well, it doesn't say that. It says TL072. And it is Texas, if it is the same chip as the Texas Instruments, with the actual picture of Texas on it. Which is cool to see those, because if you know the underground history, right, and it shows that some things on the interweb are true, some things are not. By 1980 or 81 on the so-called clock, they started using Panasonic and Mitsubishi, or whatever kind of, not Mitsubishi, whatever the other one was called, Japanese chips. So it ceased to be a Texas Instruments home computer. It was now Japanese. What's this one? Yep, that's another one. TL072. This one is 7650. I don't know what that one is, but I'll let you know. Well, there's 4 chips in this. No, 1, 2, 3. 3 chips. Maybe one is the buffer circuit, but I don't know which is which. No clue. What are those here? These are all electrolytic capacitors. Yes. I guess that colored side is the positive side. I don't know. I'll have to do my research. Always do your research on these. Don't solder wrong, because it's very annoying trying to push something back through the solder or remove the solder, because these holes are so tiny. They don't look tiny because I'm holding it close, but there's my finger. Once you fill that with solder, it's not easy to move that solder. You know, the way I did it was I would hold the piece on the other side and push it whilst heating it up. But there it is. You know, you don't want to be holding heat and heat and heat on a component, you know. Luckily for me, it was a resistor. I got carried away and I thought, oh, those are all my 12Ks. And two of them in the middle was a 24 and a, whatever the differences were, 27. But yeah, pay attention. Don't blunder it. Take your time. And then what I do on my sheet, you know, like I show in the other video, if I have one spot where I'm not sure, I'm like, I heated that twice, but I had some questions about, you know, that circuit that I soldered. I'll draw a little circle on the paper. That way, if I go back and something doesn't work, I'll be like, I circled that, and that. So I'll go back and troubleshoot, you know, and look and see, as if I know how to troubleshoot. I still haven't made that wah pedal work. I did change the spring in it, though, and that part works way better. So mechanically, the wah housing is working great, but the wah doesn't work. I have a 4-leg inductor in there, and I have on the shelf right there a 2-leg Italian, I believe that's vintage, new old stock, Italian inductor, and I don't know how to switch a 4-leg inductor with a 2-leg inductor. Maybe it's like the shield housing, or sometimes I was told it's like an in and out, like it's 2 separate coils in one. I don't know if it can be changed, but maybe. I don't even know if that's the problem. I don't know. I just know how to glue things. Very, very cool. I know how to glue things very cool, but that's about it. All right, so this one's definitely going to be altered state. Quite an inventory, and I'm not in the mood right this second. I gotta go brush my teeth and go for a walk and try to clear my head. I miss my children so much. All right, it's redundant. It is exciting, though. It's exciting to share with people, you know, because these are healthy things. These are healthy things, you know. Good things to do with your soul and with your life, and learn about stuff. There's that garbage guitar. 222. Michael Anthony Dyson was born in room 222. This was right across the street diagonally from building number 222, and there it was in the garbage. The 222 guitar. What is it? Adam Levine. It's signed AL. Al. It looks like it says Al L. But Adam Levine. Yeah, there's no bullets in that can. That's bicycle tools, and then there's another one under there, and that's for put the feet on when I play the guitar. Like put the leg up, you know, so the guitar sits on it. That's what it's for. No bullets. Guns are for hunting for food when angles blight the crops and make the land miserable, and there's no grocery stores in sight. Well, we have ShopRite and Price Chopper, and, you know, I don't need a gun. But those ammo cans are nice. They're nice. All right, that's that. I drank all my coffee. Mostly I drink it black. I just had it black. I don't put any milk or sugar in it. Just black. Lip balm. Lots of lip balm, because they keep splitting my lips. So I'm going through tubes of lip balms. Like, it's actually doing much better. I don't know if you can see it. It's doing much better, but alright. Yeah, you can still hear the ultrasonic sound in here. It's relentless, but this is quiet. This is nothing. It gets so loud in here. It's like, you would think it was a Jimi Hendrix guitar on 10 with nobody tending it, leaning up against the amp. It just gets so loud in here. Well, all right, that's that. See you later.